And welcome, folks, to the talk show, Let the Truth Be Told. I'm your host, Pastor David. And, folks, we got a great conversation today. We're going to discuss the elections that happened last night. We're also going to do a special return for Miss Hughes, who lost her house due to the reverse mortgage scam. So if you ain't got nothing to do, call your friends and let them know. You're listening to Let the Truth Be Told Radio, and I'm your host, Pastor David. Y'all come on in. Welcome. Thank you. And welcome, folks, to the talk show, Let the Truth Be Told. I'm your host, Pastor David. And, folks, we got a conversation to have. But first, let me give all praises to God and my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for making it possible to be here. And I want to welcome everybody to the show. Well, folks, last night, New York just signed this death warrant. They put a man into office who said that everything, and this is what I hate about Democrats. They're lying thieves. He tricked the people and brainwashed the people into thinking whatever's Denami or Salami, whatever his name is, to talk about how he's going to give away all this free stuff. And I know the people of New York got to be really wondering what the hell happened, because what he is going to do to New York, the American people and patriots across this country, is going to be a shame. He also wanted to arrest the Jewish leader Netanyahu, and it's so much stuff that he's saying now, but he reminds me, and they've all taken a page out of Barack Obama's book of giving good speeches and hollering and saying all the things that he thinks people want to hear. So what we're going to do today, this afternoon, we're going to take apart this election. We're going to take a look at what Dummy, whatever his name, Hot Mommy, brings to the table, and we're going to discuss that. But first, we're going to talk about a story about the reverse mortgage scam. One of our hosts, Latricia Hughes, is going to talk about that. So, folks, y'all sit around. Let me get my guest in. What's up, Doc?
Hey.
Mr. Binky, Randy, welcome, guys.
I feel like it's the Brady Bunch. You know,
Right.
the tiles come in. Good morning, good afternoon.
You know, I still put my challenge out there, man, because I see a lot of other talk show hosts now. They're following our lead with the panels and so forth. So we setting a precedent, even though they don't want to, but we still we'll debate with anybody panel that's out there. But first, I wanna, yeah, that's right. Bring it on. I want to start off with a show that we did about one of our hosts, Latricia Hughes, whose home was stolen by reverse mortgage. And they have been fighting tooth and nail in order to save their home. And I think a lot of Americans across this country have been affected by this reverse mortgage scam. And so, Tricia, you want to talk a little bit about that while I queue up some of your stuff?
Absolutely. Basically, we are without an attorney. Again, we had to recently let ours go. And because he wasn't doing anything for us. So what I decided to do was get in contact with Pastor Lowery, because he pretty much been here from years now, trying to tell us which way to go. And he was basically saying you got to do it pro se, which means you're going to have to fall at the mercy of the court and be your own attorney, because we don't have $60,000 to blow through again. So
yeah, you filed some information. Let me put this up, Chris. You can talk about that.
basically right there is we're asking for our Judge Wynn out of Alcovey district down here in Georgia to make the final ruling. We have the handwriting experts. We have everything. I filed a less pendants. I have done everything legally possible without paying an attorney to do it. But here's the thing. When we started filing again in October, we filed in October the 16th, me and my husband ourselves. Well, the court sat on it. When I say the court sat on it, normally it's called peach court, where I could go in there being pro se and look at everything that is on our case or on our file. Well, when we decided to do a TRO, and that's a temporary restraining order, so they couldn't mess with our house or our home anymore, we filed it on the 16th. They sat on it. When I say they sat on it, they sat on it. Every day I would go into peach court. Can't see the information. Every day I went to peach court, couldn't see the information. So finally, our old attorney called us last Tuesday and cussed me out.
He was mad. Now, Chris, now this form that we're looking at, this filing, you want to talk a little bit about this? Because what the other side is doing, they're continuing to take stuff off the property. Let's talk a little bit about that.
If you see, it was stamped and dated by the court, Walton County Superior Court, on October the 16th for an expedited hearing, because the holidays are coming up and we're homeless. We got a roof because one of our friends has allowed us to stay here, so that's a blessing, but we're homeless. Well, legally by law, our type of case should have been heard, or we should have been notified by the judge within 5 to 10 days of this expedited hearing. We hadn't heard anything. So when last week, when our attorney decided to call us and say we went over his head, I can't see anything you filed in the system. The judge ain't gonna do nothing but throw it out because you've wasted time. Number one, I didn't waste time. You wasted that time by not presenting yourself or our case to the court. So I don't know, and I'm not saying that I'm going to allege that they do it, but in my gut feeling, after he said he called the opposing attorneys, he sat on our case and waited for it to run out. I'm not playing those games anymore. So I decided to step up and be our own attorney on October the 16th to get an expedited ruling. I'm not even asking for a jury trial. We have enough proof that the judge can look at our proof and either give us our house back or send us right to the Georgia Supreme Court, because they have already ruled any contracts entered in fraud or forgery is null and void. Now, our house is on 7 acres and they want to subdivide it. Right now, they have moved our property off there. They have moved my building off there, and that goes against the law on a less pendants. They can't do anything.
Now, this is the building that you're talking about that they moved, because you sent this in with the exhibits and so forth.
That's that building, because that is a 2,800 square foot Butler building. They're not moving that unless they destroy it. There was a 16 by 20 wooden building that I had since 2010, where they decided to pick that up and move it off the property last week without us even knowing about it. Well, that's against the law, against the less pendants when it's already been filed. You can't do anything to the property until it is either thrown out of court or the judge has made the final ruling. So when we realized that they didn't do any of this, yesterday, I decided, I started calling to the judiciary clerk herself. She's the scheduler. She's his right-hand man. And I'm like, ma'am, I have called you every day, or I called you every week just to check on us. We don't have an attorney. I'm pro se and I'm doing this ourselves. She said, what do you mean you filing stuff? I said, ma'am, if you look in the system, she said, but I don't see it in the system. She said, please email me everything that you have filed in October. I sent her 11 different links. She got back in contact with us this morning after we did all of that. Spent about $300 yesterday trying to get all this stuff done. She finally got in contact with us this morning, and she said, I have all of your paperwork and I have everything you filed. You should be able to hear something from the judge in the next weeks. Y'all keep us in your prayer. We still need help. And I literally feel like I'm fighting the system from within out.
You are fighting the system, but
Mhm.
we're supporting you 100% because we're going to be with you every step of the way. We can always use our attorneys to give us information and so forth. And I'm asking folks that are out there watching the show, Chris, I need you to, if people want to donate to help this cause, because we do need people to donate and help us save her home. And it has been a travesty of justice as they continue to lie and try to cover this up. Because for me, I think because I was out there, the property is beautiful and everything that you had at the house was in place. I know that somebody in this situation wants to take that property and make a subdivision out of that. But this is wrong. The reverse mortgage scam is prevalent. And to the people, the American people and patriots across this country, let us stand with Lucretia. Let us help her fight this issue, because whatever donations you can give, it's going to go directly toward this fight. And we have to stand with her just like we would stand with anybody else, especially she's one of our team members. And I'm going to be with you 100%. Whatever that we have to do, we're going to do. And I'm going to ask people to donate to this cause. People who are watching this show, Chris, give them some information where they can reach out and help you with this matter.
I'm going to give you my phone number, 404-422-2558. That's how bold I am right now. I want our home back. I want to help others. We're not the only, that's the point with me. We're not the only family. We're just the only family with the proof and enough souls behind us to keep pushing us forward. But we're not the only family that is being bamboozled or, forged signatures or fighting against the system. This is going across the nation, and they're targeting the elderly. They're targeting people that actually own their homes outright. You ever get a phone call, we'll buy your house for cash. Be careful with that. Please read the fine print. Go to the clerk report and check your signature. Now that everything is liable to be e-file, you won't know until it's too late. So yes. I'm asking everybody, because the people that's been following me for a while know this happened with a reverse mortgage scam.
And you know what? When you got me involved with it, and we've spoken to some of our attorneys to try to assist you, and we are going to assist you with this matter, but we need your donations to help this thing get done. And we're going to stay and keep the people informed about what's going on with this case. And we will ask for your support, and that we can help Lucretia save her home for her family. You guys want to comment on this situation?
I say put down no trespassing signs around the whole entire perimeter, and say that anybody that comes through there will be prosecuted or shot.
It's already up there. Trust me. Because it's a land developer that actually bought our house on the courthouse steps. As my husband is up there and made the auctioneer announce, anybody that purchased our property will be under litigation. And we had proven that Dave's signature was forged in 2022. They kept fighting. They kept fighting us. But I did not recently find out who the other side attorneys actually were. They are the active city attorney for Monroe, Georgia, and Walton County, Loganville, Georgia. They are in our county as active city attorneys for Monroe and Loganville. And if we've already proven that not only his grandmother signature was forged, my husband's signature was forged, because the people that watch my show have raised so much money. We got the top handwriting expert in the United States that is accredited by the Supreme Court of the United States, also accredited by the CIA and the FBI. They didn't even want to hear what she got to say. So what is so important when you got crooked attorneys and a land developer knowing that there was fraud and forgery, why are you still holding on to our property and won't let it go?
Yeah, there's more there than what they're saying. There's got to be something underneath the soil, or what Pastor Larry was saying, it's prime real estate for something else.
His grandparents own the mineral rights. One more time, in 1983, his grandparents bought that with bona fide cash. It was a cow patty. Not only did they purchase almost 6 acres of land, but they got the mineral rights underneath the property also.
And I think that's what the whole situation is.
Yeah.
It's because they probably did a a study and found out what's under that land.
Beneath the ground. Yeah.
Yes, and that's what they're fighting. I believe that's what they're fighting, to try to take from you. But we're going to keep the fight going, folks. If you can donate something to help Lucretia in this fight, it's a legal defense fund. Give what you can. But we're going to stay in focus, and we're going to continue to fight and make sure that the right thing is done.
And I appreciate y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Well, y'all, Election Tuesday. we finna have some fun right now.
Let's do it.
I was on the phone last night with First America Warehouse and Joe Box. I sent a message out to Joe Box. Great job. Margaret Green and her husband Glenn were there. I think she was on The View, and she talked about New York and what this Mom Dummy, whatever his name is going to do. One thing for sure is anytime a politician tell you that something is going to be free, you can count on it. It's not going to be free. So what we're going to do, folks, I want your thoughts on it, Randy. What you think about the election night last night?
I'm not surprised. These are blue states, blue cities, so it was not a surprise. But what was a shock to me is that they actually Virginia elected that attorney general, despite the fact that he, called for people to be killed and assassinated and babies to be killed. Okay, Virginia, we already know you're inbred. No, I'm just kidding. But but for New York, hey, look, 9/11. Don't talk about it ever again, because you just open the door for it to happen all over again. So, Charlie Mike, if you like it, I love it.
Your thoughts, Doc?
Wow, it's very sad. I talked about it on my show earlier, and really, here's my thing. There shouldn't be people allowed to run for office unless you can trace your lineage back to the 1700s. I mean, pre-1776. You should not be allowed to run for office, period. Now, a lot of people say, well, that's not fair. Yes, it is. Just because you come over here from another country, which you ran from, which was a socialist communist country, you know what I'm saying? So you have a better life over here. We don't want that here, but you bring you with you. Okay. And you brought communism, you brought socialism here, and people are just acting like, yeah, this is great. The rich people celebrate socialism because they don't have to partake in it. Okay. And Mandani is that person. He's wealthy enough that he doesn't have to partake in socialism, but he can put out the wishes of it. Right. Nobody's going to. Why would you want to live somewhere where stuff is free? It's going to be Kingpin Alley everywhere. People are not going to be free. They're going to have to pay for their safety, and people are going to get hurt. But this is what you want in New York. This is what you voted for.
Steve?
Yeah, well, just like Doc said there, these people come from other countries and they bring their culture with them. And part of the culture is socialism and communism. So they're over here selling this to people, and that's just what dumb mommy's doing. Is he's sitting there telling everybody we're going to have free transit, we're going to tax the rich. Those are talking points of Democrats for decades. So he's just more extremist now because he stood there and admitted that he's a Muslim and he's a democratic socialist. So now they're getting bold enough to announce themselves and the destruction that they're getting ready to cause, and people are putting him in office still. So, like Doc said, I hope they enjoy what they get. They're putting it in. They did it to themselves. I don't feel sorry for them.
Randy?
I'll just say this because I'm at a loss for words, really. But I'll just say this. Benjamin Franklin said it best. For those who are willing to sacrifice their liberties for a little bit of safety and security deserve neither. And this is exactly what New York did. They said, you know what, we're going to sacrifice our liberties because we want free stuff. We want this. We want a new vision. We want a new pathway. You're going to get a new pathway. All right. Your pathway is going to be, self-destruction, and it is what it is. And I would just say that, for people to not understand what the civilization's jihad means, you might want to look that up and be aware of exactly what's going on right now in this country.
And 12% of the people of New York voted, put this guy in. So what happened to the other, 82%?
Yes.
You know,
crazy.
Where were them people at? So, oh well.
Yeah.
Your thoughts.
Lucretia?
Georgia's full, South Carolina's full, Florida's full, Tennessee is full.
Don't come here.
Don't come
running.
You know what? It's going to make great content. If we can't go viral as a show and continue to build on their mistakes, then this is going to be a time that all of us should be going viral because we the people told you so.
Yes. Now, my thought is this. I don't understand how anybody in their right mind would believe that he could give us all this free stuff. The fact that he's talking about he gonna tax the rich and this and that, it's totally ludicrous because that's not gonna happen. But New York has done it to themselves this time. Like I said, I was on the phone with First American Warehouse last night doing their event with Margaret Green, and it was a sad situation for me because I know a lot of people in New York. I know a lot of good people in New York who are going to suffer behind this foolishness that happened. I'm going to play this clip, guys, and we can talk about it.
Elections across the country last night, including in New York City's mayoral race and the governor's races in Virginia and New Jersey. Fox Business's Darren Botello is live this morning in Washington with what comes next. Darren.
Hey, good morning, Maria. So I think we can say right now the polling turned out to be pretty accurate for those high-profile elections all down the East Coast. Democrats winning from New York down to Virginia, starting with Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani besting Andrew Cuomo, running on his platform of tax the rich and free public transit. Over the river to New Jersey now, Democrat Mikey Sherrill, a former Navy helicopter pilot, securing her win over Republican Jack Ciattarelli. Then finally, going down to Virginia, Abigail Spanberger reclaiming the governor's mansion for Democrats over Winsome Earl Sears. Mamdani, of course, as you know, the most controversial of the races, with the 34-year-old ending now, for now, the Cuomo political dynasty, defeating former New York governor. So his 20-minute victory speech last night directly attacking the old political establishment, further pushing his far-left agenda and all but declaring war on President Trump.
Okay.
If anyone can show a nation betrayed by Donald Trump how to defeat him, it is the city that gave rise to him. So Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up.
Nah, guys.
That's the way they gave you your right to be here is the same way the federal government can snatch his rights back.
Okay, he's naturalized. He is not a born citizen of this country. Sir, do you realize that we can throw you out on your keister? Sir, do you realize threatening the president of the United States? I mean, just the boldness, just the brass ones on this individual. I'm sorry. It's crazy.
Breaking news. Mayor-elect of New York City gone missing.
Okay. The trolling that's going to happen, but truth be told, like, he can be
removed
from this country. A naturalization is a gift to be here. You know what I'm saying? It's not a right ever.
Yeah. Your thoughts on it, Binky? You up there?
Well, it's pretty sad to sit there and listen to all them people cheering for him. Just listening to that tells you how uneducated these people are. I've been listening to news going, well, Venezuela went communist, and everybody went communist, and now they learned their lesson, and now New York's wait a minute here. Just because Venezuela went to communism and now they're paying the price doesn't mean that we've got to go through communism. We're supposed to be educated on what we fought for this country about. And that was socialism and communism.
But wait, Mr. Binky, they say, because communism don't work, we know how to do it. We can make it work. We can make it work. Everybody else screwed up, so we can learn from their mistakes and we can do it better. That's the whole mantra.
Me personally, they got what they voted for. So don't come out here or mainstream media come out here and try to blame Trump. Trump was nothing up in there. And for that dude to be popping off at the mouth, okay, then I'm just going to sit back. This is going to make great content. I'm going to continue to be called a racist. I'm sure they're going to find out something, phobia of the Muslims. Yeah, you know what? Whatever. We're going to sit back and we're going to watch it. We're going to be called every name in the book. We're going to be afraid of the Muslims. I don't know what they about to call us, but at this point, I don't care. That is the testing ground for the United States to completely go away with this socialism and communism. I'm telling you, if you think the DOJ, Pam Bundy, Christy Nomes, Tulsi Gabbard, or President Donald J. Trump finna put up with old dude's lip, it's not gonna happen. This is gonna make great content. They're already complaining that he's taking donations from foreign governments. Give them one reason to get rid of him like they did Eric Adams.
You know that's right. We're gonna play a little bit more of this because that's some content in there.
Stances and accusations of anti-Semitism won the race pretty decisively, with that race being called, Maria, only 40 minutes after the polls closed at 9 p.m. Maria?
Yeah, it was fast, Darren. Thanks very much. Darren Botelho joining us this morning. Your reaction. Emily, Adam, what does that mean?
Well, turn the volume up. That was the strangest thing I think I've ever heard because it makes no sense. I don't know what he was referring to. I tell you what does make sense. Here in New York, 1% of the population pays 48% of the income tax. Capital goes where it's treated best. If he is going to pay for all these handouts by taxing the wealthy, people are going to leave. And it wouldn't take a lot to completely upset the balance of payments here in New York City because, again, 1%. You antagonize a quarter of that 1%, and it all implodes.
You know, before the election, we were talking about really how much power the mayor of New York really has to implement these things. Jeffries this morning on Wall Street out with a report telling their clients a couple of the things that he actually could do. Mamdani's proposals within mayoral authority include a broad latitude to advance policies affecting property owners and renewable energy and immigration, intensifying enforcement of housing codes, accelerating city fleet electrification, enforcing sanctuary protections, relies on the mayor's ability to issue executive orders. Emily.
Well, Mamdani's policies ultimately will fail if he's able to implement them. That already might be a failure there, but we know socialist policies fail no matter if he's able to implement them or not. And I want to point out that today, November 5th, feels dramatically different from last November 5th when President Trump won the popular vote, won 7 swing states. Now we have an anti-American, anti-capitalist, anti-police candidate who just was elected to run the financial capital of the world, to run the largest police force in the country, the NYPD, of course. Mamdani is going to be responsible for an $150 billion budget, 300,000 employees, and over 30,000 police officers. So I had a pit in my stomach last night when I heard Times.
Okay, guys, your thoughts on it. Your thoughts, Doc.
Well, he's got a budget of, at least 112 billion, right? We don't know if the budget is in a deficit or in a surplus or not, what he'll be left with. Turn the volume up is a troll, by the way. People sitting there going, I don't know what that means. It's a troll. He's trying to bait Donald Trump to engage with him. But to say that he has the power over immigration, no, he doesn't. Under our Constitution, the only individuals that can affect our immigration laws are our Congress. That's it. And that's the problem. There's been so much allowed to be done in these different states where they pretty much are doing things outside of the Constitution. And they really eroded the legal system here in this country. It's terrible what's going to happen in New York. I can't feel sorry for him.
Binky?
No, well, what I'm seeing in these Democratic states and cities is that them people have been knocked down so far that they're too stupid to understand. They're begging for more of government. Mm-hmm. And just as Doc said, these public officials, these public servants that work for us, give an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. The states gave their power of immigration to the federal government, which means they are obligated by their oath to follow the rules, the laws, and the supreme law of the land.
Right.
So this, as Dave, I think I've said it like a parrot here, but These cities and states that create immigration, ignore immigration, try to put up signs that ICE agents can be arrested, or they've got to go get permission from a judge to go out and arrest. This is all nonsense. They cannot do that. And again, until Nome and Bondi, and they've got to take this into court, and it's got to get done, settled up once and for all. Quit kicking the can down the road. Quit accepting this democracy or this the sanctuary city garbage. It's all garbage, and it needs to be fixed.
Randy?
Or U.S. Marshals, where are they at?
Right. Yeah. I would say this, socialism is great until you run out of other people's money. Margaret Thatcher. and here's the thing. You got the 1%, as the gentleman said in that news clip there, you got 1% of the rich in New York that, basically covers 48% of the expenses of New York, right? That 1%, even a quarter of them or a half, if they say, you know what, we're out, then what? The whole Mondami scheme, scam is going to collapse. It's going to implode.
It's over.
And then New Yorkers going to be like, well, we thought we was going to get free bus rides. But they will get free bus rides because they're just going to hijack the bus system and just ride the buses, and say, hey, take me here, take me there. That's what's going to happen, And so it's crazy to me that people in New York don't realize that when you're doing something economically in that city, not even talking about the state, in that city, you're doing something economically, it goes full circle. It doesn't really trickle out too much. And then you're going to limit that supply by pushing out certain groups of people. You're going to castigate some certain groups of people. And then guess what? That supply of money is going to dwindle and go away. And then now you're going to be trying to figure out what's going on and how to survive. And that's what they're going to 1900s all over again for them.
Yep.
Well, you got two issues that came out this morning. You got the Jewish fire department chief in New York City. He's the fire commissioner. He handed in his resignation, and a couple more is getting ready to. Then you got Van Jones, the mouthpiece of the Democratic Party, is coming out here. Wait a minute. He done switch attitudes. This wasn't the guy that was on the campaign trail. Why he getting up there his speech shouting at people? He done flipped the script already. Yeah. Well, duh. So I don't feel bad for these, but what I do feel bad for is the situations that we've already seen. Woman getting raped in between two cars, somebody getting stabbed in a subway, another person being set on fire. It's about to multiply. And if you think the people on Billionaire Row and Millionaire Row is finna up what they already pay, they're going to be leaving New York City for something very, very greener, and it's probably Wyoming or Colorado.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Guys, when we look at this situation, and we take a look at, because I don't know what the hell a democratic socialist is. There is no such animal.
No, it's a socialist. That's
exactly.
It. Unless you're going to change your name, Democratic Party. I mean, like, rebrand it.
But what they did was, because the Democrats are looking for a another Barack Obama. They have all they took a page out of Barack's book and how he tricked black people into thinking that he is going to help black people. He got up with all the good speeches and all that, waving his hands, talking about what you got there, Binky? That's your boy.
But remember, Obama is off the table when it comes to New York City because he did not endorse I Want Your Mammy. So he
called him. He called him off the record, apparently, and they had a conversation, but he wouldn't outwardly support him.
Said he had a good campaign. He loved his campaign and stuff. So,
well,
whatever.
Black Americans have already castigated Barack Obama out of our lives. We know he's a liar and a thief. He was the biggest grifter in the United States, but he was able to use that mouthpiece for more than what he usually used it for, to trick people into thinking that he is part of us. Okay. I don't trust the man because, see, I can't even call him a man. I don't trust anybody who would come and specifically chastise the black community about voting for Kamala Harris. He came out, y'all black men better do this and do that. Y'all need to do this. And yet,
wait. We're gonna stop this. He's not black, so let's just stop saying that. Say biracial,
Right.
okay? Because his daddy was a Kenyan, his mama was a white woman. He ain't come from Crenshaw, so he don't have a idea about the black culture. So can my black men stop miscategorizing him? He don't know about your life.
He's not like us.
Don't be pushing him over on our white people now.
Kendrick Lamar. We know you don't want him either. We know.
I don't want him either.
but you know, it's the trickery that they use, and the Democrats have been using this trickery, you know, like Barack did. Barack was talking about he was going to do this, and I'm going to rescue the black community. Anything that people had an issue with, guys like Barack Obama and this my mommy, whatever his name is, use that to trick the people into thinking that they're actually going to help them. At 1% of the voters in New York, what happened to the rest of the voters? They didn't show up for this, and I guarantee you they wish they had her. But I want to say this to the American people and patriots across this country, especially black Americans. Barack Obama need to pack his suitcase up and sit his ass down somewhere. We have to keep watching him pop up after he decimated the black community, the lies, the thievery, and then turn around and did everything for the LGBT group. Now, this is what this is all about. This ain't about justice for the American people. This is the continuing push to promote homosexuality and transgenderism.
Yep.
That's what this is. This ain't about us as Americans and the patriots across this country who died to make this country great. This is about a socialist, supposedly a mutt. I can't call him a black man, but he a mutt that's out there tricking and lying to people and acting like he really care when it's nothing about this. This has all been the plan to the American people and patriots across this country. Let us think about this. It was Barack Obama who passed the same-sex law for the homosexuals. He promoted transgenderism. Yep. It was Lori Lightfoot in Chicago that put it into the schools. J.B. Pritzker promoted it. It has been all about the LGBT group FYZ. That's what it's been about. And to the American people and patriots across this country, if we don't stand up, I can say this. If we let a party of 2 to 3% of people destroy this country, we need to be destroyed. Because basically, we already know what the idea is. It's to turn every young man into a homosexual, just like he said about, well, you know, every young man needs a gay mentor. What for? If you got your own father, that's what this is about. But I'm going to play a little bit of his speech, man. I can't stand the fact that, and to the American people, we haven't woke up yet. And black people still supporting this clown who has nothing good for us but to keep us running behind him as if he could save this country when he's the one who destroyed it. Check this out.
All the central casters behind her.
Bragging about herself all the time, talking about how I'm great. But she's great. As a former federal law enforcement officer, as a CIA case officer working on counterterrorism, she knows what it takes to keep communities safe.
Yeah,
as the mom
them.
of 3 kids in Virginia public schools, you know she cares about helping every child and helping every teacher succeed. As a member of Congress, he was a workhorse, not a show horse, fighting to lower prescription drug costs, giving veterans the support they deserve. Abigail does not just say the right thing as your governor, she will do the right thing.
Okay, guys, we can start talking. What are your thoughts on this, Lucretia? I see you down there cutting his neck.
Yeah, if I wanted to listen to Satan speak or any of his minions, I would think I was going to hell. But since I know I'm a child of Christ and I'm going to hear, "Well done, my good and faithful servant," I can't listen to. He does something to my system. I don't know what it is. Just listening to this dude speak, you ever had the hair rise up on the back of your neck or your arm when you just know you listening to evil? I have to do this now. I don't want to hear anything he has to say because it's straight evil, because he's just an evil person.
Randy?
I would say, his hypocrisy knows no bounds. He should have sat this one out. Telling black men that they needed to support Kamala Harris because she was a black woman, and then yet you have a white woman that was going against another black woman, and you came out and endorsed and supported the white woman over the black woman, despite the party. I get it, party differences. That's why I say he should just sat it out and said, "Nah, I'm not gonna, get involved with that. Good luck in your race and let it be that." I would have respected him more for that, but he had just. Not that I already don't like him. Now that I can't stand your effing guts, guy, because you didn't did that. So it's kind of like, it is what it is. And I'm with the creature. The devil will show his colors. He will show you who he is every day, all day. Believe him when he shows up and tells you who he is.
Steve?
Well, I'm going to let Barack speak for himself. I'd rather listen to a box of rocks than anything that has to come out of Barack Obama's mouth. It's a bunch of lies. He can't, if you listen to him, and he can't get a sentence out without stumbling. And she's that box of rocks sounds better to me than
Doc.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad he gave us her resume. Saying that she worked for the CIA is actually not an uptick.
No.
Right?
True.
Because we know what they do. Okay. They're there to dismantle governments. Okay. Yeah. And she's been a part of that. She's been a part of kingmaking. Okay. So to have somebody like that is now a governor, it's actually dangerous. And I don't really think people are thinking. They're thinking emotionally. And that's what this has done. People, I don't want to say they're being starved, but, making sure that they didn't have any food, because I guarantee you the shutdown is going to miraculously end this week. Yeah. Miraculously. Because they were holding people hostage because they wanted them to vote a certain way. See, the Republicans aren't going to give you anything, but guess what? Magically, now Snap's going to get turned back on. I'm telling you, these people are evil.
You talking about the governor? You didn't even listen to the lieutenant governor. You're going to put 2 bullets in who head? You got 2 bullets, but 3 people. I'm at this point, and I know Pastor ain't going to like me saying this. Bring it. Stop threatening us. Stop threatening the MAGA. Stop threatening grassroots. Stop threatening Republicans. If y'all gonna do it, bring it at this point. So being behind all of their glass cages and sending their minions out here to come and attack us on a daily basis. Now that they're wanting for war, they're calling for bloodshed in the street. You know what? Are you gonna be on the front line?
I gotta pay a little bit more of this because you gotta hear what he's saying, guys. I'm telling you.
And folks with disabilities. Investing in the infrastructure and scientific research that drives economic growth.
Yeah, don't drive it.
But
it's not capitalism. It's government.
Aren't enough. She understands that we can't afford to waste taxpayer dollars on programs that don't work. And she understands that instead of just trying to tear government down, it's her job to make it work better.
No, government
so Abigail
sucks.
has real practical plans to grow the economy and strengthen Virginia's schools and lower the cost of everything from housing to health care to energy.
Which will never happen. It will never happen.
And she is willing to reach across the aisle to make it happen.
No, she ain't. She said
She
she
has
would.
shown that she can do it. Abigail is
All right, guys.
Just the gaslighting. You know what? There's like a definition of gaslighting, and he's standing right there with Mr. Binky's picture. Okay, for real. The gaslighting is outstanding with this one. No, government will never work better until you actually have people in there that want to work for the people. We don't have people in there like that. They work for their donors. Okay.
Yep.
And that's what we see, and that's what our government has become.
Lucretia?
Every time I see him, I want to shout at the screen, run faster. I can't stand it. And that's the reason why he's one main reason in 2016 I gave up television. I stopped watching it because of all the lies, all the Benghazi, all of the Russia. I was sitting up peeping a long time ago, but you know, I got off his bandwagon 1 week after him, and I'm glad I did. Hindsight 2020. Thank you, Holy Spirit. So anytime I hear him, I'm shouting at my screen because I don't understand how there's more libraries in the United States than McDonald's, and you still got stupid, overweight people. I can't get. He gonna do what? She gonna do what? She ain't finna reach across the aisle. That was a big lie. She gonna do what? Make everything cheaper? No, she ain't. I don't like liars. So
gaslighting.
Well, you know what, guys? I met Barack Obama when he got to Chicago. I was the president of the NAACP, and I was invited to an event by the Hip Hop Coalition where I met him when he ran for state senator, and he got whomped there. But when I met him, and I really started to dig into his background, because I called some friends of mine at the FBI, and they told me about how, you know, he was smoking weed, snorting cocaine, he was dressing like a woman, and all of those things. And I thought, well, maybe they can't be wrong. But later on, we found out what his real mission was. His real mission was to push all the things that they said and do all the things that they did regarding for the gays. And when I tried to sound the horn, man, I'm telling you, people was telling me, man, Pastor, you know, Barack is a black man. I was like, no, his agenda is not good for black people. But I want to say this, though. Once that people found out, and black people, now that we know that this mutt or whatever he called himself, the gay parade or whatever the case may be, he had nothing good for us but to lie to us and to trick us. And now that he got, I don't even see how he came back out and supported nobody, because black people hate his guts, because we found out that he made a damn fool out of us. And see, and a lot of people who voted for him now, they're like you. I don't want to hear him because he's a liar and a thief. That's all basically he is. So, Binky, you want to say something?
Well, that's why he's going to white people to rally for the white people. The black people have disowned him. Let me here's a trait of a Democrat. Now, all Democrats, if you really listen to them. Now, this is coming from Mikey Sherrill. She wants to get reelected. This is her quote for why you should reelect me. She said, if I get reelected, I will freeze the energy prices and declare a state of emergency. Lady,
she can't do that.
You've been, this lady's been governor for how long? And now, if you reelect me, I'm going to take care of the problem I allowed to happen. This comes out of every Democrat. Gavin Newsom says the same thing.
Yeah.
Cuomo said the same thing. Biden, all the Democrats, they are in office. They do nothing. They get out and cry about it and say, well, if you elect me, I will. Oh,
no.
Well, you know,
lies.
That's just they get into office. People.
Once they get into office, it's a whole totally different story. Just it's just like Mammy. He done already start changing and start doing things that he shouldn't do. And he's always lying.
Always.
People need to Hold what you
He
got?
says, once elected, I'll be a vegetarian.
That's a wolf in sheep's
That's a
clothes.
wolf completely talking to the
That's
sheep.
a Democrat for you. That is a Democrat.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit and tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to create the problem, come back and tell you I've solved this and I can fix it because I want more government in your life. I want more government controlling you, and I want government to control everything out here so we can make it fair.
Yeah.
You know,
Ooh, that sounds like communism.
Yeah, he said exactly
yeah
what he's going to do. And he said we need more programs that work. Now, if you got programs already that's not working, what do you
fix those?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, the reason why they don't work is because they're programs. It's not capitalism. If you really want things to work, why don't you help people start a small business?
Yes.
Right? If you really want things to work.
Yeah, you got $150 billion budget up there in NYC, and now you're saying you're going to cut the police force even more, free rent control. You're going to be giving out freebies to everybody. It's not sustainable when these rich folks are actually going to leave.
Yes.
Yeah, free fare on the subway. I would never take the subway again in New York. Seriously, it's free. Everybody can be down there. No, I'm good. No, I'm good.
The federal government gives them money. So all of him is running off at the mouth. All the thing that the feds got to do, or President Trump or the Treasury got to do, is start pulling back that money from all the grants that are out there that the government actually gives. So let them keep talking. Let them keep talking.
I want to play a clip on what some black folks are saying about Mr. Jackleg shaking need a mentor, a gay mentor for your son. This is what Black America is saying today.
Let me make this make sense. Last year, I saw Obama chastise black men saying, y'all not supporting this Indian woman. Remember Kamala, who wasn't black, is not black. You know, was, is not. Okay? She's Hindu. She's Indian.
Yep.
But I watched Obama sit there and chastise black men saying, y'all don't want to support this woman. But at the same time, turn around, go to Virginia and campaign against a real natural black woman. Y'all, listen, this let me know one thing. This ain't got nothing to do with color. This ain't got nothing to do with color. It's either God's side or Satan's side. God's side or Satan's side. Nothing to do with color.
And she's absolutely
okay, guys. Your thought on that?
Yeah, sound like she been watching. Cat Williams. He basically said it. There's two sides. There's God's side and there's their side, and we don't give a damn about their side.
Yeah. And the woman from Virginia that ran, that they keep calling a black woman, she's Jamaican. She's melanated. She's not a black American. Like, I need people to just stop. Flatness is not black. And there are people that do not serve in politics for the interest of Americans. I'm kind of exhausted because I keep hearing, people are Muslim, they're this, we're immigrants. What about America? What are you really standing on? What are you for? Benjamin Franklin told us, if you do not preserve your republic, you're going to lose it. And that's where we're at.
Binky?
Well, I want to tag on to what we were just talking about. I apologize. We don't want more government in our life because if you look here, this is tuition. That highlighted line right there, after that line is after government got involved with our educational system. This is our healthcare system. At that line, and if you notice, look how the healthcare costs went up after government got involved.
Yeah.
Okay. This is why you don't want government involved. Yes, there's a devil, and there's godlike people out here. Our country was founded on basic principles of God. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witnesses, etc., etc.
Right.
Now, what we're living today is right is wrong and wrong is right.
Period.
Yes, sir.
That's
Well
what we're
said.
living in right now. And we as a people have got, school is fine. It's supposed to teach you how to use your head.
Right.
It's after school is when you educate yourself. You learn how to educate yourself in school, not be told and indoctrinated on what you should know, but how you should learn it.
Right.
That's what we've got to focus on now. And I think these younger kids today are seeing that. I really do.
Well, you said something that was very powerful, how you use your head. And we know how Barack Obama's using his head for sure. I'm going to play a little bit more of this clip.
Is endorsing the liberal white woman in Virginia over the conservative Christian faith-filled black woman in Virginia for Kennedy. The NAACP needs to be disbanded. This is an organization that I have no respect for, that at one time did so much for the African American experience in this country, has now become a laughingstock and a joke, has become an organization with no morals, no values, and doesn't represent the civil rights movement that were led by mostly a lot of Christian ministers. It has become a Marxist organization that endorses transgenderism, that destroys the black community, that endorses everything demonic and evil about that's toxic about the black community. You have a woman, they would endorse a white woman, a liberal white woman, over a black woman just because she has an R in front of her name and not a D in front of her name. If they were really about black people, they would endorse candidates based off policies. They would sit down and interview candidates and see what they have to offer the black community. But the NAACP has become an arm of the Democratic Party. They're not a real organization that makes any change. They're not helping homeless black people. They're not helping struggling black people. They are a joke as an organization. They've been a joke for a very, very, very long time. They've done nothing since the civil rights movement for black people. And they're trying to hold on to
Didn't do anything then either.
No, they're used as they use the emotional support of black people, what black people have done. And I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me see. I'll bring it back here. Darn it. Okay, so I got this from the NAACP, and they're stickers. And they sent me a letter because I had joined them and then I left them. But they sent me a letter saying, hey, we need you to advocate for gerrymandering. There are these 30 states that are saying that they're going to write new legislation for voting laws. And, and it should be illegal for, to not have mail-in voting. I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? What is really wrong with you? Like, you hate America. They are definitely an arm of the Democratic Party. I've got a sticker here that says, but it says advocacy is the new black. What? Yes, it's a sticker that says advocacy is the new black. It's really Generation Black, NAACP. We suing everybody. Like, this is stuff that people that don't live in this country do.
Yeah, they're employing lawfare.
This is immigrant stuff.
Yeah, they're trying to employ lawfare against anybody that don't agree with them. And for ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know the history of the NAACP, W.E.B. Du Bois, was a co-founder of it, and guess what he was? He was a socialist. he had to get exiled out of the United States because of his shenanigans. So that would tell you right there that the very foundation of the NAACP is not good for the African American community. And I will also caveat with the fact that when you have an organization that is so-called dedicated to the proposition of the advancement of black people or colored people, let me just say that colored people, but they swing to the other side and say, well, with the exception of this time, we're gonna go over here. They're a fraud right out the gate. Yeah. They're a fraud. So, ladies and gentlemen, for my fellow black Americans, if you're still ascribing to the bullshit of the Democrat Party, you deserve everything you get. Period. The end. It is what it is.
You know, guys, I was a 2-time president, one in Rock Island County, and then I was the president of the South Suburban branch. And each time that I was president in these 2 branches, they flourished. But I ended up getting in trouble all the time because I actually was doing the work.
Yep.
I was Article 10 twice in Rock Island because I actually dealt with the racial profiling, and I brought lawyers in, Attorney Jim Bell out of Upper Marlboro, Maryland, a friend of mine, and we filed lawsuits against the system. When I started winning these lawsuits, they were begging for money. You know, they basically live off memberships because they don't do anything in the Black community. You haven't heard them say not one thing. The NAACP has said nothing about this illegal immigration and how it affects the Black community.
Yeah.
You haven't heard any of the other civil rights leaders, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. You would think that these guys like Hakeem Jeffrey, all of them, you would think that all of them would be saying something because it's affecting us, Black people.
They don't care. They use Black people for this. We're used. We are emotional support pets. I thought you.
That's all it is.
Yes, Dr. Shaq, thank you for saying it. I was back. Oh my God,
that's all they have.
We are an emotional support animal. Yes, exactly.
Yep. And you know what?
We are the emotional support animal jackass. That's
yes.
what it is.
But just like I said, we are the Democrats. What the jackass or that they rode all the way to the White House. And to the American people, patriots across this country, especially Black people. Now that we've seen what the NAACP does, we know Barack Obama with the homosexuals and all of this. And just like the young man said, they destroyed our community. I want to play a little bit more of that.
Go ahead.
Like anybody actually still cares about the NAACP.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. The NAACP is a shell of itself. But to be honest with you, man, the NAACP has always been a net negative for Black America. To be honest with you, let's just keep it a buck. They're a net negative for America, period. They've been infiltrated by the communists a long time ago. They've been infiltrated a long time ago. And if you look at the NAACP's agenda, it's in lockstep with the Democrats' agenda. The NAACP is pro-alphabet community, pro-gender affirming care, pro, the trans movement, so forth and so on. They've kicked the curb, the issues. They've kicked the issues to the curb of Black folks a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
A long time ago. And to be honest with you, they're not needed anymore. Honestly, I could honestly say that they probably were never needed, to be honest with you.
That part.
But this right here is just showcasing, how unimportant they are in today's society. Seriously. Yeah. No one's paying those people any attention, but we had to talk about it because, this is pretty bad.
Your thoughts,
but see, it's weird because everybody else gets movement. They have so many caucuses in the federal government, and there are other organizations for other ethnicities, and they actually get stuff done. Everybody gets stuff done except for the organizations that claim they're for Black Americans. They just use it. It's like a shell game. It's like a shell company. Mm-hmm. There's no substance. They just use it for namesake. They always fall back on Martin Luther King and the civil rights movement. Actually, the civil rights movement happened in 1866. Get it straight. 1965 was about voting rights, but everybody just conflates both issues. They are nothing more than just lapdogs for the Democratic Party. Every single Black organization. That's it.
Well, you know what? The NAACP should lose their charter.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
When I was the president, I could not work with either side. If I did one thing for the Republicans, I'd have to do the same thing for the NAACP. If not, my charter would be in violation because we're not supposed to pick a side. As a 501c3, the NAACP, the organizations like the Divine Nine, they cannot support the Democratic Party and keep their charter as a 501c3 because the rule states that you cannot be partial to anybody's side. You have to stay in the middle. You have to address the civil rights things that need to be addressed. You have to support civil rights and be the arm that will stand up for it. And the NAACP has never done that. They tricked black people back in the day because Martin Luther King was not accepted by the NAACP. That's why they started the Southern Christian Leadership, because when Dr. King figured out the NAACP was not supporting the black community, nor did they want to, he started the SCLC with my great uncle, Reverend Joseph Lowery, and here in Georgia. And they were the ones who helped push King to the next level, because when Dr. King came to Chicago, I was a young man at the time. He stayed over on the west side, and black people came out to support him. But there was a lot of black pastors who was part of the NAACP that would not even let Dr. King set foot in their church because he was fighting for righteousness for black people. And till this very day, black people, we see the organization like NAACP will never do nothing for us. We've seen where their allegiance lied to, and I think they should be disbanded, just like the Divine Nine, who has become an arm of the Democratic Party, who on the show that I put out last night, who made a deal with the Democrats to steal the 2020 election. And they did that even down to the point where Charlemagne the God had Joe Biden on his show, and Joe Biden told black people, you ain't black if you don't vote for Joe. Your thoughts on that, Mr. Binky?
Well, a lot there that I'd like to say, but I don't know. I guess the NAACP to me promotes racism, and they use black people to pad their bank accounts.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's all I see the NAACP doing.
Exactly.
And same with the Rainbow Coalition?
Mm-hmm.
Push Rainbow Coalition. Yep.
Jesse Jackson's.
They've got to go after racism so they keep their bank accounts up.
Yeah.
And the Civil Rights Act there, I think that was created for the NAACP, if you ask me. I know they weren't around in it during that, but it's just like you said, Dr. King was not accepted by him.
No.
And how is the NAACP is going to be accredited for any helping any black people when you got a Rachel Dozie out just because she got a spray tan and some cornrows? She's supposed to know how to clean collard greens in a bathtub. I'm sitting here and what y'all are talking about. My grandparents warned me about the NAACP in the 80s. And then if you growing up and now mommy being one of the babysitters for Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott King and them coming into, Jefferson, Georgia on a regular basis, honey, them old cackling hens, they love the gossip. He wasn't what he was supposed to be. So everybody want to continue to, I ain't gonna take away from the work that he done, but he did a whole bunch of laying around behind the scenes that nobody want to talk about. So I stopped putting that guy on a pedestal when I realized my grandmother and her friends were telling the bona fide truth about Martin Luther King. So there it is with me. I'm no wonder that the spirit of that man is all the streets that is named after is the same spirit. Because ain't no Martin Luther King Jr. Highway or Boulevard is on the white side of town.
Nope.
Not at all.
Always in the bad side.
To live. Yeah.
Right. It's always horrible.
Yep.
I think didn't Dr. Martin Luther King speak at a Republican convention too?
He was a Republican.
Yes, he was.
He was a Republican. He was not a Democrat.
Republican.
That's probably another reason why he wasn't accepted. He wasn't in the right party, But
yeah, I want to play another clip, guys, and I want you to respond to this.
Watch this video. Check it out.
NAACP. What does that stand for? The National Association of the Advancement of Colored People. But they go behind and support a white liberal woman, Abigail Spanberger, over a black conservative woman, Winsome Earl Sears. Now make that make sense. Now listen, if Winsome Earl Sears had a D in front of her name, they would back her. But just because she has an R, she must not be black.
No, she's just a Republican.
The NAACP needs Marine. They don't want the advancement of anybody but the Democrats.
So you saw.
She's a Republican. They didn't even accept Byron Donalds.
That is
into the Black Caucus.
You know, she's just not a woman. She's just not a black woman. She's a Marine. That's on a whole nother level than any woman, any black woman have the wherewithal and the gumption to go through hell week. So when they just try to diminish her, she's just Winston Sears. Now she'll rock your world. So I'm still proud of her. I'm still proud of Winston Sears. Good luck, Virginia, because it's really never really been a red state. I don't know when the last time it was. And the closer you get to Washington, D.C., the more democratic it is. So, and when it comes to, you know, Mark, I love Mark Robertson, but it wasn't the Democrats that destroyed Mark Robertson race. It was actually the Republican Party. But there's neither here nor there. So what do the globalists want? What do the elitists want? And who are they willing to go to bed with? And who's willing to tote their piss buckets? That's the question.
No doubt. I'm going to play a little bit more of this. Check this out.
And you know, to me, again, like I said, I don't get it, because if you look at their records, Abigail, again, is a Democrat. The NAACP, they align more with Democratic values, if you want to call it that. And Winsome, who's the Republican, she is a big-time Trumper, okay? She says things, and this is the black lady. She's of Jamaican descent as well. But she says things like, oh, we need to get over slavery. She doesn't believe in reparations at all, right? Any and everything Trump says, she's, you know, big time MAGA, from what I understand. Now, of course, Abigail, the white woman, she's not MAGA or anything like that, and she's not necessarily for reparations either. So I'm kind of confused as where this outrage is coming from that the NAACP is defending the Democrats. Now, as you heard her say at the end, oh, well, you know, the NAACP is cooked. Maybe they should be disbanded, right? And I hear a lot of people saying that. It's like, where have y'all been?
All right, guys, y'all we get into that. Like, y'all thoughts on that? Go ahead, Doc.
They should be, because they are working outside of what they are intentionally chartered for. They are supposed to be a bipartisan or nonpartisan group, right? And they are supposed to just support people based on, if they even want to support people, they do not have to endorse candidates, nor should they, especially being a 501c3. They're not supposed to be political at all. So they're supposed to stay out of it. Now, I know they've since changed that with the 501c3s, that they do allow you to actually talk about candidates in church, and there's different things that have changed. But from the time of their inception, to me, they've really just been a placeholder to hold Black people and to make sure that they move a certain way, giving them a false sense of security.
Randy?
A couple of things. I want to back up a little bit back to MLK and the rift between him and the NAACP. It's because the NAACP is a socialist arm, and MLK was a more of a communist sympathizer. So they just clashed on ideology. And a lot of people, you know, they don't want to talk about that. That's why the FBI had wiretaps of King, you know, and it was like he was part of the blacklist of, you know, communists communism and all that kind of stuff. A lot of people forget that stuff, or they overlook all that. But it all ties into the Black community and how they move with the NAACP, with SNCC, with the SCLC. See, all that stuff in the 60s, it's coming to a head right now in the times that we're living in. Although all those players are dead now, the ideas, the ideologies, and the ideas that formulated those organizations back then have transformed and transcended over time to where we are today. And now they convoluted those things and made it much worse. So yes, we need to disband all those things because they don't represent or have the purpose in which they once did, but they're shelling the ideas that it does, but it doesn't. So I'm gonna
play this last piece of the clip, then we're gonna get out of here. Check this out.
Nothing represents Black people more than endorsing a white candidate over a Black candidate. Because like the famous quote from Joe Biden, if you ain't voting Democrat, you ain't Black. Remember that. The joke writes itself, bro. It writes itself.
He's absolutely right. And the thing is,
okay, guys, your thoughts, your last words, so we can get up out of here. Doc, go ahead on you up first.
The joke writes itself. It does. And the joke is unfortunately on the Black people that continue to support this party. And it's gonna fall flat, but we have to stay strong. So definitely make sure you check out the Redemption Party at usaredemptionparty.com. I think the Democratic Party has done a great job at making a way for the Redemption Party to come on the scene and support people who want to be actually servants of the people as opposed to politicians. So again, check us out at usaredemptionparty.com.
Mr. Binky?
Well, just that last clip there, I didn't understand what reparations had to do with qualifications of people being elected in the office, first of all. So all I can say is that kind of tells you when you go voting on people, for people, go for what they stand for. And if you're worried about retaliation or you're worried about money, you shouldn't even be voting because you're going to lose no matter what you do.
Randy? You up, Randy?
I would just say, ladies and gentlemen, you can go to RPURHAM, RPURHAM on all social media platforms. Follow me there. I got content there, here, and all that good stuff. Mondays and Fridays, my show, Permanent Associates. And I would say, to cap it off with this, the tree of liberty must be watered from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. Thomas Jefferson.
Lucretia?
I don't care how many times I wipe myself, I lick myself, or look at myself in the mirror. I'm was born black. I'm gonna die black, and I'm gonna use the God in his brain cells he gave me in order to not only vet these people, but teach other people how to vet people in politics and to continue to waken people up of what's really going on out there in the real world. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. Someone just sent us $25 for for our legal fees. I just want to say thank y'all so much. We're not going to stop fighting because this is where God has had us, and I'm going to do the very best we can. So we'll be live again in about 15 minutes. I just want to thank Pastor and Mr. Binky. I want to thank Doc also, and of course Randy. Much love.
Guys, I want to thank you for turning into the show. We're going to look and see if we can do another one before the week is out. God bless you, and we will continue to bring the truth to the American people and patriots across this country. See you soon. Folks, I want to thank you for tuning in to the show. As we can see that a lot of things happen overnight. We can see that organizations like the NAACP and the Urban League and all of these organizations who got these 501c3s who say they represent the Black community, but they don't. Because if they did their job and if they represented the Black community like they say they do, because they get millions and millions of dollars to say that they do, if they were getting the money like they are, and if the Black community was being assisted like they should be, then Black people, we wouldn't be in this condition. We wouldn't be waiting for people like Barack Obama to lie to us and use us and to steal from us, to create dissension between people, because that's what the NAACP has done. That's what all other organizations who are funded by the Democrats continue to destroy the Black community. And until we wake up and understand that we, the people of the United States, control this country and take our country back, we will never be able to make this country great again. God bless you. Y'all share it around. You can find us at letthetruthbetold.lightcast.com. That is our new platform. Go there. Watch our shows. Watch previous shows. Again, that's letthetruthbetold.lightcast.com. I'm your host, Pastor David Lowery. Y'all tune in, share it around, and God bless you and help us to make this country great again.